say the... Okay. Hilchos Vchalitza Perek. This is the last Perek of the Vchalitza. Let's just review the principles. Number one, a man is not allowed to marry two sisters. That's against the rules. Number two, you're not allowed to marry the sister of somebody who you potentially have an obligation to marry through Yibum. So if your brother's widow is waiting to have Yibum from you, or Chalitza, there's a chance to have Yibum, to go marry her sister who's single, that's not allowed. And number three is if you have a situation where two brothers are married to two sisters, both brothers die, now both sisters need Yibum from the third brother who's alive, because he has at the same time the zika, the shaychus of Yibum with both sisters at once, he's sort of married to both sisters. So then the Chacham say, don't marry either of them. You can't do Yibum with either of them. Do both Chalitza and go on your way. All right. Perek Shmini Halacha Aleph. Misha Kiddush Achas B'Shei Achiyah. So someone gives Kiddushin to one of two sisters. For example, he gives the father Kiddushin. He says, one of your daughters is Mekudeshes to me with this money. V'eni Yedei is Mekudeshes. He doesn't know which one he was Mekadesh. Or mace. And then this guy who has this situation of where he's not sure which sister he's married to passes away. He has one brother. So this one brother now has a widowed sister-in-law. The question is, which of these two sisters is the widow? One of them was never married in the first place. One of them was Mekudeshes to his brother. We don't know who it is. He has to do chalitza to both of them in order to mat them to the others. So they both need chalitza and misafik, right? Yeah. To do Yibum with one and chalitza with and to do Yibum with one of them, we'll see soon, is not an option for a certain reason. If you had two brothers, so this guy who passed away. Oh, how are you? We just started. Good. What page? 438. 438.
These have been very easy lately. But I don't understand. I have to go through it. You know?
Okay. Okay. So let's just start. We just start. We'll start again. If someone gives Kiddushin to two sisters, for example, he gives the father Kiddushin. He says, one of your daughters is Mekudeshes to me, but he doesn't know which one. We don't know which sister is Mekudeshes to him. So one of them he's married, one of them he did not marry. The Mason, this guy who gave Kiddushin to one of the two sisters, passes away, and now one of them is his widow. We don't know which one. And there's one surviving brother. They both acquire chalitza to mat them to the rest of the world. Because one of them needs chalitza, we don't know which one it is. They both get chalitza. Yibum is not an option for reasons why we'll explain, hopefully. If you had two brothers, this person has two surviving brothers. So one could do chalitza with one of them. Batchila first, ideally, and batchila is very important. First does chalitza with one of them. The second one could do Yibum, could do chalitza also, but it could do Yibum because according to Rambam, Yibum was more ideal. With the other one, either way. If the one who he's doing Yibum with was the one whose brother was Mekadesh, he did Yibum with her, she's the one who needs Yibum. If she's not the one who got Kiddushin from his brother, so she's a woman. So the one who was his brother's widow, she got Chalitza. So it's not a problem over here to do Yibum with her, because if she because it's not pshat that his brother married to both of them. It's not like she's the sister of somebody who he has shaychus with Yibum Chalitza. Only one of them has a shaychus with Yibum Chalitza. We just don't know who it is. So if it was the one who got Chalitza, this is her sister, which has no connection. If, however, the other he shouldn't first do Yibum. You have to first give one sister Chalitza. To do Yibum with one sister first should not be done. Why? Maybe the other one who did not get Yibum is the one who Taka needs the Yibum Chalitza. He's marrying the sister, the relative of somebody who he has a potential Yibum Shaykhs. And we said already, just you can't marry two sisters, the Chum asked her to marry someone who you have a sort of marriage to through Zika. However, if the two brothers go and they marry both Yivamis, we don't require them to divorce them because it's Safek D'Rabbanan. It's Safek D'Rabbanan L'Kula. Because again, this whole issue of marrying the sister of somebody who have a Shaykhas Yibum is D'Rabbanan, and therefore we don't know which of the brothers did Yibum and which one of the brothers married the sister of Zikal Yibum. Well, which we don't know who it is. Therefore, we let them both stay. But no, not at all. So it's D'Rabbanan. Yeah, no, not at all. I think even if he knew for sure who it was, and Eishes Ach is Maratayr is Mamzer, but the Chum didn't make a Mamzer Rabbanan, I don't think. Is two people, two brothers, I believe this is. No, actually, sorry, two people not related. And they gave a Kedusha to two sisters. which is a common case. You have two sisters who are married to two people. Is any day is a kid? We don't know who was a kaddish who. But so both gave the father kiddushin for one of the daughters, and we don't know which daughter is married to which brother. The two brothers die. Each one of them has a surviving brother. So each one gives chalitza to both of them, because this brother knows one of these two women is his sister-in-law who needs yibum. He doesn't know which one it is. He has to do chalitza to both, and the other one also has to chalitza to both. So this way they cover both of them. What if this one has one brother, the other one has two brothers? So the one who has one surviving brother, that surviving brother gives chalitza to both of them, because we don't know which one requires chalitza from him. One of them is his dead. One of them is his brother's widow, so he gives chalitza to both to cover his bases. The other one, one does chalitza. Rishayna first, thereby frees her potentially. The second one could do Yibum. Again, the Rambam holds Yibum is ideal. More than the other one could do chalitza as well. But once the first surviving brother does chalitza, the other one could do Yibum again for the same reason we said in the previous halacha. Because either she's the one who needs either the one he's doing Yibum with is his brother's widow and he's doing the mitzvah of Yibum, or she's not a person.
What kind of Yibum then?
No. Right, it means marry them. So that's not considered Yibum. Islam can marry them, but there's no risk in doing Yibum. That's the point. It's only it's maybe a mitzvah, maybe it's not a marriage.
There he has to give the suba. There he has to give the whole thing. It's not.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Tzadidim. We're talking about Tzadidim of Ishus over here. Good. Again, if they go and marry them, even though not supposed to, misafik imit to the other, we don't make them get divorced, because again, it's a suffix that I which one of these people married the sister of somebody who they had a potential shaychus of Yibum once upon a time to, who they ultimately did chalitza with. So we don't know who it is. Therefore, they can stay married. Even with kahanim, normally a kohen is not allowed to marry a chalutza. Over here, shachalitza chachidi is safik chalatz. The one whoever did chalitza, each sister who got the sister who got chalitza, it was a safik chalitza. She doesn't know she got chalitza, right? She doesn't know she needs chalitza b'chlal. She doesn't know. So therefore, the chalitza. I'm sorry, she needs chalitza for sure because her husband died. The question who her husband was. So the brother who gave her chalitza, we don't know if that's her brother-in-law. The Isser of Chalutza is Rabbanon. Chalutza goes with this about suffix the word gezer. So because she resembles a grusha, Chum forbade her to a kohen. But because over here it's a suffix, the Chum didn't make the gezerah. B'diavad, the they can't marry, but b'diavad there's no gezerah. Now the truth is the suffix the Rabbanon. Maybe you would say even the they should be able to get married, but over here it doesn't apply. Okay, Gimel. Again, we have two sisters. Each one of them are married to two random people. The question is who's married to who, we don't know, because both people went over to this guy and said, you have two daughters, Rachel and Leah. One was Mukdeshes to me. And the other guy does the same thing. So who's married to who, we don't know. Now both guys die, and they both have two surviving brothers. The brother of one of them, one of the surviving brothers, does chalitza with one of these two women. And a surviving brother of the other deceased brother does chalitza with the other one. So both the women have received chalitza from the brother of their dead husband, whichever way you want to cut it. And then again, if they want, again, the Yibum is more ideal. The other brother could do Yibum with one of them. And the other brother could do Yibum with the chutz of the other one. This is essentially the same thing we said in Halacha Aleph. Because either you're doing Yibum with your dead brother's wife, or you're doing Yibum, or you just stop marrying a person who was the sister of someone else's. Sorry, either you do Yibum with your dead brother's wife, or you're marrying her sister, and it's not a problem to marry the sister of someone who, even though there was a shaychus of potential Yibum to her, but again, what's the reason why? Again, either she's his dead brother's widow, which case admits of Yibum, or she is not his brother's widow. She's the sister of his
other brother's wife.
How's this work again? If we got so then a second. So why again is that the ideal? Because so again, if she's the one who the brother was Mukada, she's doing Yibum. If she's not his brother's wife, so she's tam a woman.
No.
She's tam a woman. She's a sister of the potential chalutza, but chalitza was already done. Right, chalitza was already done. Therefore, that takes off the issue of you can't marry a woman who there's a presently a potential for Yibum. This, but the zika is over because chalitza was done. Therefore, it's not a problem. It doesn't resemble marrying two sisters. Okay, I'm sorry. Good, Dalit. Yeah, I'm sorry, we didn't finish. The two brothers go. The both surviving brothers. Both if
No.
yeah, if both brothers on both sides give chesed to both of them, the other two brothers, Nachamo. We said Gimel, middle of Gimel. So again, we said each one has two brothers. One gives chalitza, and if each of the two has two surviving brothers, one of the surviving brothers from each deceased brother gives chalitza, and the other one could do yibum. Fine. If both surviving brothers give chalitza to both women, meaning all four surviving brothers, I think that's what it means.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I think it means kad mishneim lechos mishneim, that if all four surviving brothers, if both brothers from one. I'm sorry, no. Kad mishneim lechos mishneim. If one of the surviving brothers, both his brothers, went into chalitza. We said just now that each of the brothers who died has two surviving brothers. One surviving brother should chalitza to both, and one surviving brother could even with one of them, and the other surviving brother could even with the other. So again, you have right, Reuven, Shimon, Binyamin.
Right. But if his brother was
one second. Sorry. But what happens if so the surviving on each person who passed away has two surviving brothers.
Right.
One should do chalitza with both, and then
the other one could be Yibum.
Correct. Kad Mishneim l'chol shneim. What if one of the surviving brothers, one of the dead brothers, both the surviving brothers did chalitza instead of one doing chalitza, one doing Yibum? So Reuven dies. Yeah, he leaves behind Shimon and Binyamin, and Levi leaves behind Yehuda and Yosef. Ideally, Binyamin should do let's say Yibum, Shimon will do chalitza, and when Levi dies, his two brothers Yehuda and Yosef, one will do Yibum, Yosef does chalitza. What if both Binyamin and Shimon, Reuven's brothers, did chalitza? So the other two brothers should not do Yibum. One of them does chalitza. Again, first does chalitza to remove the zika, and then afterwards his brother could do Yibum. Again, if they get married, they don't have to get divorced. So why? Because if both brothers, someone. So, yeah. Let's get some names over here. Okay, so we have Reuven. We have Reuven, Shimon, and Binyamin. Okay. Let's say if Reuven, Shimon, and Binyamin, right? Reuven dies. Who's left? Shimon and Binyamin. We have Levi, Yehuda, and Yosef. Levi dies. Who's left? Yehuda and Yosef. Ideally, Shimon and Yehuda should each do chalitza with both, and then Binyamin and Yosef could each do Yibum with both. But what if instead of doing that, Shimon and Binyamin both went chalitza with both of the two women? So in that case, the other two brothers, from the other one who passed away, should not both do Yibum with should not. We're not going to say that now. Let's say Levi who passed away, his two brothers who survived, Yehud and Yosef, could both do Yibum with Rachel and Leah. Why not? Rather, what should do? One should Yibum, one should Yibum. Why? Because since one of these two women who survived is the wife of Yehuda and Yosef's brother who passed away. So one of them is a candidate for Yibum Chalitza. One of them is a stranger. So if they both do, the Chayr think, well, let them both do Yibum. One of them is doing mitzvah of Yibum. One of them is marrying a woman. So that's taka true. But because you're not allowed to marry the woman who's the sister with who you have a potential obligation for Yibum, that's why it says over here that so two surviving brothers should not both do Yibum. One should do Chalitza, one should do Yibum. And Chalitza happens first. Right. Okay. Okay, I say it. I get stuck. Daled. But you should
Didn't we say yesterday that if one does Chalitza, then you can't do Yibum after
that's if both wives were married to the same husband. These two were married to only one had a husband. The question is who the husband was. Right. So it's not even
if one brother does Chalitza if one brother does Chalitza on his deceased brother's wife, then the other brother can't do Yibum after that.
If he
did Chalitza on both of them, one of them had to be the guy's wife, right?
Correct.
So the other brother can't go ahead and do Yibum now.
The other sister, whoever she is, whichever one it is, has no shaykhs to this house. So she's not a marriage. She's not a person. You're married to somebody. I can marry her sister. What's the problem? In other words, because
how do you know that he married the? How do you know which? But you don't know which one he married.
Right.
So there is a possibility that he married his deceased brother's wife who had already gotten Chalitza, right? Didn't we say that one?
No, so that's why you don't do Yibum and Chalitza. One gets Chalitza and one gets Yibum.
Oh.
Yeah. And one should do Chalitza. I said first you have the Chalitza done. And the other brother could do Yibum. Both could do Chalitza as well, but the Rambam again prefers Yibum over Chalitza. It's more ideal, according to Rambam. I'm sorry?
Great.
Yeah, a woman who had children, and her son was married to a woman. They also had kids, so she had 8 o'clock, right? But she's a young bubby, so she becomes embarrassed, shows her daughter at the same time. They both give birth. She has a son and a grandson born on the same day in the same cave. But the two kids get confused. Big deal. And now we don't know who's her son, who's her grandson. Right? Who's her son, who's her son's son. Right? And the two people grow up, and we don't know who's the son, who's the grandson. They get married, and they both die childless. Kids and Taurus. How we met to them? Who's their brother? Is their brother this woman, the bubbies, other sons? Each baby, one of them, their brother is this woman, the bubby's other sons. One of them is one of the grandsons, that family's other brothers. So what should we do? The grandchildren of that family, all the boys, or one of them, gives chalitza to both of them. First, they should not do Yibum though. To both get Yibum from that one. Correct. Because each one of them, we don't know, is this person here my dead brother's wife who I'm allowed to marry? In fact, it's a mitzvah to marry in this case because of Yibum. Ever love. Maybe it's my father's brother's wife. That's an erva. And therefore, you might be doing mitzvah of Yibum. You might be going for the Ishakaris of marrying your aunt, your uncle's wife. It's not allowed. And therefore, you do chalitza, not Yibum. But the grandmother's sons, they don't do Yibum. Why? There's no need. If this baby that they're looking at right now, if the widow is the widow of their brother's wife, if she's the widow of their brother, her Yibum, she got Yibum already from what? I'm sorry. Yeah. I read it wrong. They could do Yibum or Chalitza. For some reason I read it they can't do. The Bubby's sons they could choose Yibum or Chalitza, whichever, with both. Whichever they want. Why? Chalitza, of course, is an optional harm done. But even Yibum, if this widow is their brother's wife, they're doing Yibum. What if she's really my brother's son's wife? So then you're allowed to marry your brother's son's wife. And she also got chalitza, so she doesn't have a problem. The relationship is not a problem in terms of relatives, and the problem of her waiting for chalitza is not a problem. She got chalitza, so she's free. Good. Hey, what if the sons, the other sons, the ones who we knew, most of the kids in the family we knew, these two kids got mixed up. All of the kids, we knew who the parents were. Those kids all died. Of side the Bubby's kids and side the daughter-in-law's kids. Who do you have? You have these two boys. One of them is the Bubby's son. One of them is his grandson. We don't know who's who. So then the children of these two people who are surviving, they do chalitza to their widow, to their aunts who are widows, and to their potential sister-in-laws who are widows. Because each one of them might be the brother of their father's wife, right? We don't know. So each one of them, one of these two guys, let's see, the Bubby's kid. The Bubby has a bunch of daughter-in-laws now who are widows, right? Because all her sons died. So each one of these guys who doesn't know who's who looks at them and says, each one of you might be my brother's widow. I have to Yibum Chalitza with you, but you also might be my father's brother's widow. I can't do Yibum with you. It's Issachar's. Right? So we don't know which one is it. So if each one of them, if he marries the Yibum, he marries the wives, the widows of the Bubby's sons, he may be doing mitzvah of Yibum. He may be doing the avera of marrying your uncle's wife. Therefore, he does chalitza to both, not Yibum. That's as far as the children of the. So that's as far as the two guys and these two confused babies in relationship to the Bubby's sons' widows. And what about the grandsons, the grandsons' wives, their widows? One of these two guys does chalitza with them, each one of them. One could Yibum. Why? If the son who did the chalitza, one of the two taruvis did chalitza with all of them first. If he's taka, the one who's supposed to be able to do chalitza, meaning he is the brother of these women's dead husbands, he did chalitza. And the other guy in that case, he is the father of all of these guys, these widows, and you're allowed to marry your brother's son's wife, right? So his brother's son's wife, and that's fine in terms of relationship, family tree. Of course, after she got chalitza from her yav. Now, what if the guy did chalitza was actually the Bubby's son? His chalitza is a joke. He did chalitza with his brother's son's wife. That doesn't do anything. No help, but no harm either. And the other one, he's the brother of the deceased people. He's doing Yibum. So either way, one does chalitza. So either way, the one does chalitza with the older generation. So therefore, either way, what we say again? Therefore, each one they both give chalitza to the older generation, to the Bubby's sons' widows, and to the Bubby's grandsons' widows. One of them does chalitza with each one of them. One does Yibum. Vav. Okay, so if you're very patient, woman, husband passed away, then she gets remarried right away to somebody else. She's supposed to wait 3 months, we learned, but she doesn't. 7 months later, she has a child. Who's the father? The first husband, second husband. Then you do it in Ben Shisha. What is is he a 7th month pregnancy from the later husband or 9th month pregnancy from the first husband? Now there's other children here. She has children from her first marriage. She has other children from her second marriage. So most of these kids know who their father is. They all know who their mother is. One of them knows who his mother is, not sure who his father is. It's the first one or the second one. Now, and the two fathers, the two husbands were not related. Ben Safik. Now, this guy who doesn't know who his father is, he dies, and he has a widow. She is Yibum Chalitza. Who's her brother-in-law? Who's the candidate for Yibum? Each one of them does Chalitza, not Yibum. Each one of them is coming to Yibum. Maybe this guy is not. They don't share a father with him. They only share a mother. But they're for sure a maternal half brother. The issue of Eshes Ach, marrying your brother's wife, applies if it's a half brother or a full brother. If it's a half brother from your mother, there's no mitzvah of Yibum. There is an issue of Eshes Ach. So therefore, keep it safe. Do Chalitza only, no Yibum. Again, same thing applies if he's alive and they pass away and the suffix is here. What does he do? He does Chalitza, not Yibum. Zayin. If both the first and second husbands had children, right? So again, so this woman marries a guy. He has kids from previous marriage. He dies. She marries someone else who has kids from a previous marriage as well. So each of these men has children with her and has children without her. The question is who's who. So again, if both first and second husband had children from a different wife who's not this woman over here, this woman who got married that she's not supposed to within 3 months. So and then one of these two guys passes away. I'm sorry. And then so one of the children passes away. The child who's a suffix, doesn't know who his father is, does chalitza with this wife, or does Yibum, whichever one prefers. Why? If this guy is taka, his brother from his father, he's doing Yibum like you're supposed to. If he's not his brother from his father, they have no relationship, neither father nor mother. He could get married. So either he's marrying a woman, or he's doing Yibum. Good. Because again, remember, if this woman marries a guy and he has kids from previous marriage, this husband and his previous wife have a child. The new wife has a child with her new husband. There's no relationship. Therefore, there's no problem. Ches. If the child who's a suffix passes away, now he lives behind the widow. So one of the two sons from the marriage should do chalitza first. Again, the second one, either way. If he's his brother, he's doing Yibum. If he's not her brother, he's the son of the other father. She got chalitza. So again, there's no relationship over here. So therefore, she got chalitza from her proper brother, and she's a stammer person who's a free bird. So again, when Reuven marries Sarah, and Reuven has a previous child in previous marriage, then Reuven dies. Sarah marries Shimon, and they have a child named Yankel.
Yeah.
The child from the previous marriage of Reuven and Yankel have no blood relationship. Right. Therefore, either it's Yibum, I gave the wrong name to Yibum. One of them should be a girl. Either it's Yibum or it's not a marriage. So no harm done. So Yibum. Test. Someone whose husband went overseas. She heard that he passed away. It was whatever it was, the best thing he got to her. But this is she got remarried. The first husband shows up in town. They both pass away. Each one has brothers. Now remember, the marriage of the second one is no consequence. You can't marry a married woman. But it resembles a marriage because they got chuppah, kedushin, they were living together, they have kids even. So the kids are right. So the brothers of each one does chalitza, not Yibum. The first husband's brothers do chalitza minatera. Theoretically, they could do Yibum. The chum asked it because it looks inappropriate. Just like she has to leave her husband if he was alive, she has to leave the brothers. The other husband's brothers do chalitza minatera. Yud. Chamesh nashim. Oh, this gets fun. Okay. Chamesh nashim. Then you do it.
This is so far out.
So it's that's why Masechta Yom is very complicated. It's not deep. It's just complex. There's charts that you could use. I just don't have them. Okay. Oh,
it's not deep.
It's not like Amko. It's not. Yeah. Okay. All right. You have 5 women. Each one of them has a child. And we know who the child is. Very good. And then these 5 kids get mixed up. I'm sorry, the 5 women get mixed up. And each one of these 5 women now has a second child. And the kids are mixed up. So I know this is my kid, and one of the other 5 is mine. I don't know who it is. Each woman says that. And the Teruvis grew up and they married. And the 5 men, the 5 brothers, died, left behind 5 widows. And these 5 are now waiting for Yibum or Chalitza from the 5 definite brothers. We don't know which one is my brother's wife. One of these people is my Yibum, my Yavama. I don't know which one it is. And only one of them. Each one of them is only one. Okay, so how do you help the situation? Now he gives a very general description and he describes it in more detail. What do you do? All 4 give Chalitza to one. And the 5th one marries the one who got Chalitza as follows. How does it work? So why is that okay?
Yeah.
You want to finish after Meir, okay? Give us 2 minutes. For example, if he's the brother's wife, he did Yibum with her. If it's not his brother's wife, so it's then it's the wife of someone else, or other brothers. And she got chalitza in any event from this other person who's not related to him. Therefore, it's not a problem. So every one of these people for sure got chalitza from their proper person, or Yibum from the proper person. So you're good to go to marry whoever you want. Either you're my yavam or you're not a person. And if you're not a person, I got chalitza from the person supposed to. And the second one also all for the chalitza and one of the other 4 who did the first 4 chalitzas to marry the other one. And the 5th one should marry her. So again, the same point. Turns out all 5 of them marry one of the 5 after she got chalitza from the other 4. Everyone got chalitza or yibum from the person they're supposed to. Your days. Be diligent with all these principles. If the situation is such who you're not sure if she needs the chalitza or not, or doesn't need chalitza, she doesn't go free until she gets chalitza because she might need it. Any situation where you're afraid if the relations might be an isser, we don't do yibum because the yibum might actually be an avera. Anytime there's a proper chalitza, or proper beila with a proper yibum, the other co-wives are marrying her, can marry whoever they please. Gimel. With this principle, you can have and understand any situation that comes up regarding the sveikas and mechalitza. We explain all the principles upon which they're based. Basically, you can know who does yibum, and who is a candidate for yibum, who is not. Okay. Thank you for joining us.
This is very good. I'm lost.
A chart. It's just